What's up, YouTube? Welcome back for another college football pick'ems. I'm back here with your boy Rhett. What's up, Rhett?
How you doing, man?
Doing good, bro. Doing good. Good week. Good week. Yep.
Yeah.
So, last week, I'm coming off a crappy week. What did I finish last week? You passed me in the pick'ems.
You're
You're in
like
the lead
1-9
now.
last week. It was pretty bad.
I went 3-7, and then you went 8-2. So you killed it, and I just flunked it. The record
Damn straight.
stands at Rhett's at 47-33. I'm at 45-35. Time to lock in and get my lead back. I can't let this supposedly college expert pass me. Screw that. All right. Getting on, let's recap a little bit of last week. So, Michigan, big brother Michigan State after they had Hitler on their Jumbotron, right? You see that?
I did, yes.
That's crazy. Penn State, Ohio State, Drew Aller, he folded under the lights, could not get anything going. This was a battle of the defenses, a low-scoring game. Ohio State took it 20-12. That's a huge win for them because their next toughest opponent is only being Michigan. So that's good for Ohio State. Florida State with the comeback, they were losing at halftime. Was able to rally. They were losing 20-17 and ended up winning 38-20. They didn't allow a single score in the second half. Did Riley Leonard get injured the second half?
Late third quarter, he re-injured his ankle.
Gotcha. Washington survived Arizona State. Good for Washington, staying alive. Oklahoma survived UCF. Texas beat Houston, but lost their quarterback. He's going to be out for a few weeks.
Yes.
Oregon, they beat Washington State, yeah. North Carolina, Virginia upsets North Carolina. What the heck, dude? What's up with that? What else here? And USC lost to Utah. USC falls to 24. I think they should be unranked, but that's just my opinion. Let's see here. Iowa got screwed over by a bad call by the refs. Bad officiating all weekend.
True.
Anything else? What the heck is up with this? Mississippi State beat Arkansas 7-3. What kind of score is that?
You didn't watch that game? Come on, man.
No, I didn't watch that game at all.
It's a good game, man.
Your
Exhilarating.
USF beat UConn.
Comeback victory as well.
Oklahoma State beat West Virginia. What else? Anything else? Oh, so last Saturday, I was at the FAU game, and that was an abysmal game to go to. They lost 36-10. That was horrible. The tailgate was fun, but the game itself, not so much.
Did I nail it with the analysis?
Pretty much. But you didn't even mean to say that. You just said that because I was going to the game.
No, I meant everything I said.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hurricanes beat Clemson. Big win for them as we step closer in the ACC championship game. Any games you want to break down, talk about?
There was one game in particular. It was the Washington game. I fell asleep, obviously, so it was a 10-15 game. But for it to only be 15-7 is eye-opening. I didn't notice that until today when I just saw the score. I'm a little shocked at that, but
They
whatever.
survived.
At least Washington's still undefeated. 3 out of 4 of my playoff teams are still alive. I'm not feeling too confident though. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. I have 3 out of 4. I feel for a fact a Big Ten school will be in the playoff. It's probably going to be either Ohio State, Michigan at this point, since Penn State. I mean, their defense looked good, but they did nothing against Ohio State offensively.
Nope. No. Michigan is now the favorites to win the national championship now.
Yeah, they should be number
Crazy.
one, man. They should be number one.
Yeah.
Honestly, they didn't look great at the start of the season with the competition they were playing, but now they're really starting to whip it out on these teams and show what they're about. Thanksgiving week, get ready for Michigan, Ohio State. It's gonna be a banger. Noon.
Oh yeah. Now that I talk about FAU, I'm getting all these FAU ads now. NBA and sports management at FAU.
No, they want you to go back to school, man.
The government's listening to my computer, man.
And then
All right.
the game that I wanted to spotlight because I added it to the pick'ems when I shouldn't have was Kansas State TCU. What a terrible game that was. 41-3, Kansas State. Pretty
Kansas
sure
State
I picked
whooped
TCU,
Yeah.
but no worries.
You had
they
TCU.
just- I don't remember, honestly.
You set yourself up for failure then.
I don't remember
Jesus,
if I picked TCU or not, but yeah, that was a blowout. Other than that, good week of football. The refs definitely ended up being the talking point for a lot of these games, which is unfortunate, but we move
Yeah.
on.
Move on. Exactly. Moving on. We're gonna move on to the first game of this week. This is what week? Is this week 9? This is week 9. 9. Jeez, bro. This is going fast, dude. I think we only have 6 more weeks of college football, dude.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
so depressing. Jesus. All right. Well, first matchup, we got Duke at Louisville. This could be an interesting matchup. The health and the availability of Riley Leonard is up in the air right now. Reactivated his ankle, like Rhett said earlier. Louisville's at home. Who's favored here? Louisville's favored by 4. So I don't know. I think they'll need Riley Leonard to win this game. Louisville, they got a pretty decent defense. I think they're pretty good defense. They're good at limiting the run. They only average 97 rush yards allowed per game. It's pretty good. They're also pretty offensive heavy team as well. Duke has a really good defense as well. But if you look at their past 5 opponents, Duke had a tough schedule. Besides, okay, so they lost to FSU. That was a tough one, especially when Riley Leonard went out. North Carolina State whooped them. Lost to Notre Dame. Whooped UConn. Whooped Northwestern. Louisville, they actually beat Notre Dame. So if you do college football math here, of course Louisville should be the favorite. So I'm going to stick with Louisville.
I knew you were gonna do that. I knew it.
I'm just gonna trust. I'm gonna trust Plummer and the receiving core there, and their defense to limit Duke, because I don't think Riley Leonard's gonna play this game.
I was waiting for you to get to that conclusion when you were talking all that filler for 5 minutes. I was waiting for you to get to the college football math.
It never lets you down.
I'm gonna use logic here and say Louisville looked phenomenal against Notre Dame, but I'm hoping that Notre Dame just played a really shitty game. Louisville showed their true colors against Pitt and lost by 2 tuds. I do believe Duke has the better defense. Duke has the better defense. I don't know if they have the better offense without Riley Leonard, but I don't care. Give me the Duke Blue Devils to go into Louisville, Kentucky, and get the win. Give me the Devils.
Yeah, this is a tough game. This Duke team is pretty tough. They show they can hang out. They can hang with the big boys. Louisville lost to Pitt. That was a crapper. But they also did beat Notre Dame. That was a good. Their defense showed out for that one. So
They
yeah,
single-handedly
I don't know.
ruined Fighting Irish's chance at a playoff.
Yeah. So that was their second loss. They gave them their second loss, right?
Yeah. And then Notre Dame went on to absolutely look amazing against USC. But what team hasn't looked amazing against USC?
Honestly, they shouldn't even be ranked, bro. That's what I'm saying. Their defense is not there, bro. All right, moving on to the next game. We got Iowa State at Baylor. Okay. So this one's also an interesting game. Iowa State has kind of gotten things figured out as of late. And except when they played Oklahoma. That was a pretty bad loss by them. Allowed 50 points. Uncharacteristic of that defense of theirs. But they were able to get a win over Oklahoma State, TCU, Cincinnati. I'm not very familiar with this Iowa State team. But this Baylor team also seems to be maybe picking it. Not really. No, they're a pretty average team, I'll say, actually. Iowa State's been more impressive to me. Their defense, if I look at Baylor's defense, they haven't been doing all that great. Allow almost 400 yards per game. Iowa State is barely better. They only allowed 330. So Baylor's been looking unimpressive this season. So I'm going to stick with Iowa State. They've been more impressive against the lesser competition in the Big 12. Besides Oklahoma, or like they look good besides playing Oklahoma. And then they also lost to Ohio. So that's a crap. But I think that was like just the beginning of the season. I think they're starting to find their groove. So give me Iowa State and the Cyclones here on the road.
I wanted to talk myself into picking Baylor because I knew you were going to go Iowa State. But looking at Baylor's schedule, who they played, and then their losses, they have Texas Tech lost by about 5 touchdowns. They lost to Texas by about 18 touchdowns. Cincinnati barely beat them, and Cincinnati is nothing really notable this year. UCF arguably should have won that game, and they crapped their pants. You look at Iowa State, they destroyed Cincinnati by 20 points, and if you watch that game, it seemed way larger than a 20-point win. They beat TCU, but is TCU even that good right now? It's a really tough matchup. I can go either way. I just look at the Oklahoma State win with Iowa State. Oklahoma State, I do believe, is picking it up. They look relatively good now, comparatively when they started the season and lost to South Alabama. This is a coin flip in my eyes. I would go with Baylor, but I just don't trust them to pull it off. So I'm just going to go Iowa State. I would not be surprised if Baylor wins this game, though.
Yeah, Iowa State is just the team that looks more impressive right now. Baylor has been struggling to find a groove. They did have some hype before the season, but now they've just been underwhelming as of late.
Yeah.
So with that, and hear me out. If you look at their past opponents, they both play Cincinnati. Both of their last games were Cincinnati. Yeah. Iowa blew them out by 20 points. Baylor barely beat them by 3. So
I am worried though that the bye week is gonna halt Iowa State's momentum that they had brewing. That's the only reservation I have with the Cyclones right now. Their coach Campbell, I want to say it's Matt Campbell. He's going to have them ready to play, but David Aranda is going to have the defense ready for Baylor. It's a good matchup for the Big 12. It's going to depend. This game has a lot of weight on the bowl game that these two teams are going to appear in potentially. Baylor needs to win this game to keep bowl season alive. Iowa State needs to win this game to get into a notable bowl like the Sun Bowl. That's what's on the line here. Give me Iowa State.
Yep. I mean, bye week could be looked at as like a pause of momentum, or like more time to prepare. So we'll see what happens with that one. Moving on to the next game, we got Miami at Ohio.
The real Miami.
Older than MAC, right? The real Miami.
The real Miami.
Well, I can't say that now. They beat Clemson. Miami Hurricanes beat Clemson, so I don't know if I can say they're the real Miami now.
Okay.
But after that Georgia Tech, they were the real Miami.
All right.
And Miami cracked their pants against Toledo, so
yes, they did.
They let me down there. So, so we got this fake Miami at the real Ohio. So this is gonna be a good matchup for sure. Ohio is at home, favored by 7. Kind of surprised by that. I thought this was going to be a lot more closer, but look at this Miami team. They are pretty solid on offense, led by Blaine Gabbert, the NFL vet. And Blaine Gabbert. And he's having a pretty good season. He's playing pretty well. On the other side, you got Rourke, whatever you say his name.
Sure.
But I saw him on a TikTok feed this one day. So keep it
That's
up.
sus.
The Ohio's quarterback has TikTok, so he's not zoomed in. He's not focused.
Oh.
He's not locked in. Blaine Gabbert,
Wow.
you think he has TikTok? I don't think so.
I don't.
Give me Miami over here.
Wow.
Well, actually,
That's
no, I
that
don't know.
analysis. Oh,
I don't know now because I'm looking at their stats, man. Ohio has a good defense.
I was gonna go based on which quarterback has the better hair because both of them are looking pretty dapper. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like the long hair from Gabbert. Rourke has, the spiky frat boy cut.
Yeah, like your hair.
No, my hair is the accountant haircut. But I think Gabbert is gonna rely on his bloodline here. His brother, NFL bench warmer for 10 years. He played at
That's a big
Oklahoma
age
State.
gap.
He was a cowboy.
Cowboy.
And Blaine Gabbert is, I think, I'm not going to lie here, and hear me out on this one.
Are they
I
actually
think
related?
they are related, yeah. That's his brother. But I think Blaine Gabbert's NFL career and his performances when he played swayed the colleges recruiting his brother, Blaze Gabbert. And that's why he's at Miami of Ohio right now. I think if Blaine Gabbert would have performed, like prime Drew Brees, we'd see Blaze Gabbert at fucking Alabama right now. Roll Tide. But because his brother was such a shitty NFL quarterback that the colleges were like, you know what, his brother must be just as bad. So he went to Miami, Ohio Redhawks. That being said, give me the real Miami. The real you. Miami of Ohio.
Okay. I'm just gonna agree with you just because I did not encounter Gabbert on my TikTok feed. So I'm gonna stick with him. He seems locked in. So give me Miami as well. All right.
But wait a second.
Ooh.
Just hear me out here. They have a lot of common opponents. Western Michigan, Bowling Green, Kent State. They all won by around the same margin of victory besides Western Michigan. Miami of Ohio destroyed Western Michigan. Give me Miami of Ohio. This is another Ohio showdown, which Miami of Ohio is 0-1 because thanks to Toledo. It's a lot of mind games here with my pick, but I like the Redhawks here.
Did you just use college football math?
I did, but I'm going against it once again because I don't believe
Yes!
it.
Oh, you went
I don't
against
believe
it. Oh.
in college football math. Give me the Redhawks to defy all odds and beat an Ohio team.
Fine, gosh. All right, moving on. We got the next game. We got Purdue at Nebraska. Let's look at here. Of course, Purdue, strong offense. Nebraska is a balanced team. They struggle with the passing game. The strength is definitely in the rushing game. So, and their defense is pretty solid as well. They only allow 76.6 rushing yards per game. That's insane. That's pretty good. On the other side, Purdue's defense is not that great. They average almost 400 yards allowed. If you look at the last 5 games in Purdue, they had a tough last 5. They lost to Syracuse. They lost to Wisconsin. They did beat Illinois, but that's not an impressive win. Illinois sucks. They lost to Iowa. Iowa's turned out to be a good team. They were competitive against Iowa somewhat. And then they lost big to Ohio State. Whereas Nebraska, they had a somewhat easier schedule. They played Northern Illinois, Louisiana Tech. And then they did play Michigan. They got destroyed by Michigan. They beat Illinois, and then, they suck. And then Northwestern, they also suck. So, college football math, real quick. Purdue destroyed Illinois, 44-19. Nebraska, they beat them by 13 points, by 20-17. So, Nebraska's at home, favored by 2.5. No matter. Give me the Boilermakers. And Hudson Card.
Wow. Are you familiar with what Lee Corso says about Purdue Boilermakers?
No, what does he say?
He says, anyone but Purdue, I'm going with that logic today. Give me Nebraska.
Oh, bro, but Nebraska is not that good, bro.
Anyone but Purdue. They've let me down too many times this year.
You were against them this whole year, bro.
And I actually this reminded me. Remember when I said yesterday or last week that I picked Iowa to lose 3 times in a row, and they ended up winning all those 3 times. And then
Yeah.
if I pick Iowa to win this game and they lose, I don't have an opinion on them ever. Well, Iowa, in fact, lost last week. So screw the Hawkeyes. I love the Kinnick Wave, but man, they do not like me. Whenever pick
You
I
have a
make,
great read on them.
whatever pick I make, they do the opposite. So if we ever pick an Iowa game ever again, I would just bet the house on the other team, on the other outcome. Whatever it may be, pick the other outcome. Because I suck when it
I'm
comes
betting
to
against
Iowa.
you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you should do. You should bet against me.
That's almost impressive as getting them all right. So, you
He's
have a good
getting
read
them all
on them.
wrong. He's getting them all wrong.
Just as impressive, honestly. Moving on. Next game, we got the battle of the Pac-12. 2 good Pac-12 teams here. The Ducks and the Utes.
Is Cam Rising
Oregon
back
and
this week?
Utah. Is Cam Rising back this week? Someone tell me when is this guy back? He isn't gonna play this season. I
No, he's
swear.
not. No, I think the coach already came out saying he's not playing this week or this year.
Then how is he like almost ready to play week 1 and it's like week 9 and he's still like they confirmed him out this far out to the game?
2 days ago, the head coach said Cam Rising is out for the season.
Oh yeah, he's out for the season.
Yeah, he's out for the season. He's gonna
Good. They should've
redshirt
said
and
that
become
earlier.
a 26-year-old quarterback in college football.
Oh, is he redshirting?
Yeah, he's redshirting.
All right. Well, there we go. We finally got our answer.
So
Took only
next
9
year,
weeks.
next year, week 1, you can finally say Cam Rising is back.
I know. It only took 9 weeks to say he's out for the season.
Yep.
All right. So we got Oregon at Utah here. Oregon is on the road. They're favored by 7. Rightly so. This team is pretty good. Pretty much destroying teams besides Washington, but they kept it close. Lost by 3. Lost the lead late in that game. I think they were winning most of the game, if I remember correctly. This offense is on fire. Bo Nix is having a phenomenal season. 19 touchdowns, 1 interception. They average 326 passing yards per game. That's pretty good. 550 total offensive yards per game. That's awesome. If you look at Utah, not the same result. You know, they only average 161 passing yards per game. They're struggling to get it in the air with their quarterback. It seems like they have a new quarterback every week. They definitely relying more on the run game. And the defense. Defense is still strong. They only allow 78 rushing yards. But so is Oregon. They only allow 95 rushing yards per game. So 2 strong defense, or 2 at least Pac-12 strong defenses, to say the least. But I'm going to go with the team that also has the strong offense. Give me Oregon here. I feel like this is an easy pick. Utah is a good team, but the offense won't be able to go with Oregon in my opinion.
Yeah. This week, I've actually noticed every time I've clicked the detail for these games, the weather's looking pretty cold this weekend. They're all in the 50s, even the one in Kentucky. That's probably not going to play a factor. Yeah, it's pretty cold for me. I don't know about you.
That's only cold for us because we're Floridians.
Hell yeah. Fun fact, they both allowed the same amount of pass yards this year, 217. I don't think that is going to, weigh heavily on the score. I like Utah's defense. Their offense looked good last week, but it was also against USC Trojans. Protect yourself at all times.
Protect yourself at all times.
Bo Nix for president, potentially. Let's be honest. Give me Oregon Ducks to beat Utah in a shootout. Not really shootout. I think Oregon's going to score the points here, and Utah's going to trail behind quite a bit. This is looking like a 35-17 kind of matchup here. Utah hung around for a while. They're gonna be in a good bowl game, but I think they're gonna be out of the Pac-12 race as of October 28th.
Bo Nix Heisman game? Question mark?
No, Bo Nix for president, dude.
There we go. That's the spirits. Moving on.
Jordan Travis is the Heisman.
Jordan Travis is not the Heisman. Get out of here.
Okay.
He went on to win the Heisman. All right.
All right.
Moving on to the next game. The delusional FSU fan. We got Wyoming at Boise State.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this one is an interesting matchup. Boise State has been having a pretty disappointing season so far. Lost to Colorado State, lost to Memphis, beating the bad teams pretty much. Wyoming, they're much more the impressive team to me. They only have two losses, and those two losses coming from an undefeated Air Force team and Texas. So they're looking pretty good. Boise at home, they're favored by 5, surprisingly. Their offense for Boise State averages 425. That's pretty good. Defense, though, averages 428 yards per game. Not the greatest. They allow 300 passing yards per game. That's pretty bad. So, with that, Wyoming does focus on the run more, though. But I think Wyoming's going to utilize the pass and expose that passing defense of Boise State. So give me Wyoming here to win. I think it'll be close. Give me Wyoming to win a close one here.
All right. Finally, we differ in one. I don't know. I don't know if we've been differing or not. But Boise State has ruled the Mountain West for a decade now. And if they lose this game, they are officially out of the Mountain West race, I believe. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Boise State's going to make a run for the Mountain West Championship this year. Are they going to win it? Probably not. But I can see them being in the Mountain West Championship game. Give me Boise State Broncos. I like their colors. I like their field. I want to go to Albertsons Stadium so bad in my life.
The blue fields.
Maybe one of these days I'll go and watch the Idaho Potato Bowl there. Boise State's field is amazing. Their quarterback sucks, but their running back is great. Give me Boise State Broncos to beat Wyoming Cowboys and humble them significantly.
Okay. That's interesting. I just don't trust their quarterback situation over there. So, moving on. We got battle in the SEC. You got Tennessee at Kentucky. Tennessee on the road, favored by 3.5 here. And honestly, this Kentucky team, I think they're a bit underrated here. Their 2 losses come from a pretty good Mizzou team and Georgia, of course. Other than that, they've been killing it so far. Tennessee, they've also been winning games, but against Texas A&M and South Carolina, against disappointing teams right now. They did lose to Alabama, lost by 14 the last game. I'm still not very high on Joe Milton. Devin Leary isn't all that great as well. But their running back, Ray Davis, has been pretty good this season. He's been killer. If you look at both team stats, Tennessee's defense is pretty solid. Only averages 310 offensive yards per game. Only averages 109 rush yards per game. But I find that hard to believe when my Gators was able to run all over them. So I can't imagine what Ray Davis is going to do on this Tennessee rush defense. So that's where I'm leaning right now. I got the Wildcats here, and I think their key to victory here is just running all over that defense. So give me Kentucky here. I think their defense is good enough to hold out that Tennessee offense. And I think Ray Davis is going to go crazy.
Wow. I'm surprised you didn't throw in college football math here. Kentucky destroyed Florida. Tennessee lost to Florida. This should be a very easy one to pick. Give me Kentucky Wildcats.
You're learning, bro. You're learning. It didn't work well for me last week, so I hope it works this week.
It did not work for you last week. That is true.
No. Freaking college football math was broken last week. All right.
Keep in mind, Georgia next week, they play Missouri at Georgia. Possible game day. possible game day matchup there.
They got to survive Florida first. We got to see if they survive Florida.
We'll get
Is it
there.
likely?
Don't worry.
Probably. Is it likely? No, it's not likely. But they do have a chance to beat Florida. We'll see what they can do against that strong Florida team.
We'll get there. You're getting a little too carried away now.
All right. Moving on to the next game. We'll look back to that game towards the end. We got Troy at Texas State. Texas State at home. Troy favored by 5 here. So Troy, remember we trashed them in week 1, right? We picked against them. They're actually having a phenomenal season. They had to put it back to go bite us in the butt here. Prove us wrong.
That's true.
Texas State's also having a pretty strong season. Both the offenses are killing it. The only difference between these two teams is Texas State's defense is not killing it. Troy averages 281 yards allowed per game. Texas State averages 409. So definitely heavily relied on that offense. Texas State only lost. They beat Baylor week 1. That was one of the huge upsets.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to University of Louisiana. The Raging Cajuns. And then Troy, they're also having a good season. They were competitive against James Madison. So that shows they're a pretty strong team. I think highly of James Madison. So I got Troy here. I like Troy here to win. Give me Troy on the road over Texas State.
Wow. Troy, Trojans, protect yourself at all time.
Protect yourself at all times.
Texas State Bobcats. I believe I mentioned this whenever they were last on the Pick'ems, the Bobcats. They had a lot of transfers in this past year, including their QB, TJ Finley. Their running back transferred in from a Power 5 program as well. I think Texas State is well suited to run the Sun Belt Conference once they're able to continue establishing connections with all these guys, because they have a lot of Power 5 talent at this small school. I like the Texas State Bobcats here. Give me them over the Trojans. Protect yourself at all time. Texas State Bobcats to win this game. To win this game easily, by the way. Easily.
Easily? They're underdogs.
Easily.
All right. Cool.
No worries at all.
I like it. Love the confidence there. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to the next game. We got Oregon State at Arizona. Arizona is an underrated team, man. They've been playing it close against good teams, and the odds makers are showing that as Oregon State is only favored by 3.5 here. Oregon State is having a pretty good season. Only loss coming from Washington State, but after that, they had a strong win over Utah. So, DJ Ukabuga is pretty. He's having a good season. 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Arizona, their strength comes in defending the rush, so that helps them a ton. I want to pick Oregon State, but I'm feeling like an upset brewing here. I don't know if I can trust this Oregon State team, man. They do allow a lot of yards offensively or on defense. This one's tough. I'm gonna go with it. All right, screw it. I gotta be bold to pass you on the pickups. I'm gonna be bold. I got Arizona.
You're only down by 1.
I'm only down by 2.
I gotta be bold. I have to be bold.
I gotta be bold. I feel like an upset is ruined here. I don't know. Oregon State's only favored by 3.5. That's kind of sus.
This game scares me because in the Pac-12 after dark games are always wacky. And what I mean by that is they either go into double overtime, they're either blowouts, or they are right in the middle. Whereas it's a tricky one. I like the Arizona Wildcats' quarterback that they just started 3 weeks ago, Delora. He looks really good. I mean, in the 3 games that he's played, he's given all 3 teams. He destroyed Washington State, but they gave USC and Washington both a run for their own money. They're officially out of the Pac-12 championship race, I want to say. Oregon State is still relatively in it. It's going to come down to Oregon State versus Oregon if they keep winning. This is a tough one, though, man. I like Oregon State Beavers, the DJ Ooga Booga, as you like to call him.
DJ Ooga Booga.
This is one of the Pac-12 After Dark games, and I think I will be up for. I think I'm going to stay up for this one. We'll see. I have to get the coffee going. You know how I like my coffee. And
Yes,
give me the Beavers in an exciting Pac-12 After Dark game. Oregon State. I'm going with it. I might regret it, but I'm going with it.
You got the Bees?
I got the Beavs.
All right. Ooh, another one we differ. Hopefully I kill it this week. We'll see.
Or you're going to be really down bad.
I know, or maybe I just might be real down bad. Moving on to the game of the week. The best game this week. UNLV Rebels and Fresno State Bulldogs. How about that? Okay, I was just kidding.
This actually is a good
This
matchup.
week. It is a good matchup. Both teams are 6-1, so
Yep.
it is pretty good. I'm not very familiar with the UNLV team, but like look at their level of like strength of schedule. Vanderbilt, buns. UTEP, buns. Hawaii, not good. Nevada, not so great. Colorado State, decent team. So,
Okay.
and you look at Fresno State's competitive against Wyoming, that's a pretty good team. The short Arizona State, Kent State's buns. All right. College football math.
Oh boy, here we go.
UNLV beat Nevada 45-27. So if I do my math, that's
okay.
18 points. And then
Yeah.
Fresno State also beat Nevada 27-9. So that's also 18 points. So we got a tie. I'm predicting a tie. Just kidding. Give me Fresno State. Give me Fresno State.
I was wondering where you're going with that, man, because I was doing the math in my head. I'm like, I'm pretty sure both of those are 18-point wins.
I was hoping the numbers would be different. I just saw a common opponent. Like, let me just do this real quick.
Oh
Be Max
my
Keeney,
God.
Fresno State.
The one time college football math doesn't do you any justice at all.
No.
Oh man. It depends on what shade of red you like. UNLV
what kind of
has
shade
a
of red do
darker
you like?
shade. Fresno.
Yeah.
Are you flirting with me right now?
Which one tickles your fancy?
I don't know, man. I feel bad because UNLV has been so terrible the last decade of college football that they're finally bowl eligible and have a shot at making it to the Mountain West Championship game. I want to root for Mountain West. I want to root for UNLV. Fresno State, I haven't seen any UNLV games this year. I don't think you have either.
Nope.
I have watched Fresno State twice this year. Whether it was their game one. I forgot who they played game one. Was it Arizona State? I don't think it was.
Was it Purdue?
Because I watched it.
I think
It was Purdue because I picked Purdue. I picked Purdue to win. But I watched them against Purdue and them against Arizona State. Both Power 5 programs. And they won relatively fairly on both those games. I think the Purdue game was a little closer. But Mikey Keene, UCF transfer, has looked good except for his one loss of the year. Who'd they lose to again? You probably have it pulled up.
Wyoming.
They lost to Wyoming. Will they rematch them in the Mountain West Championship game? Who knows? UNLV still has to play Wyoming. Tough one. I'm going to go with Fresno State because I have more confidence in them as a program. But I will be secretly rooting for UNLV, and I won't care if I lose this one. Give me Fresno State, though.
All right.
I just can't pull the trigger on UNLV.
I think my head's more of a shade of a Fresno State, so I think that it was probably what convinced me.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's it.
I can't pull the trig.
Yeah, that's what made me pull the trig, then.
Okay.
Moving on. That's it for the ESPN Pick'ems. Now we just do matchups that interest us. One of them this week is Georgia, Florida. Georgia hasn't really played any crazy good teams.
Mm-hmm.
Florida is not the greatest team.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can pull this one off, but freaking, what's our quarterback's name again?
Oh, Jesus.
Give me Graham Mertz! Graham Mertz is going to lead us to victory.
You know what? It's funny because these games don't go into our record. We just do them for shits and gigs. So I wouldn't be shocked if you picked the Gators.
No, I probably picked Georgia. I don't think we're strong enough for them.
Oh man! For some reason,
Graham
Georgia
Mertz, I
Bulldogs-
trust.
Yeah, there we go. Graham Mertz for president. I don't trust Georgia Bulldogs. I'm waiting for them to lose, whether it's going to be in the SEC championship game or not. Stay tuned for next week when I pick Missouri over Georgia. But for this week, give me the Georgia Bulldogs to beat Florida Gators in Jacksonville, Florida, in the stadium where Trevor Lawrence's wife sits every week. So give me Georgia Bulldogs.
I think Georgia wins by 1 point. There you go. That's my prediction.
Okay, that'd be a win for you if they did.
I know, that would be a win for me. Moving on, next game we got Oklahoma, Kansas. This is another interesting matchup. Oklahoma barely survives UCF. How will they fare against a Kansas team that's pretty strong offensively? I think they'll fare pretty well. You know, they're a strong offensive team, and their defense has been impressive and better than recent years. So I got Oklahoma here. I don't know if Kansas will be too much of a problem for them. Who's their starting quarterback here at Kansas?
Jalen Daniels, maybe? Is he back?
Is he playing? Sure. I don't know. That's the question. It's either going to be Daniels or Beans, but I don't think it matters. I think Oklahoma's going to win regardless.
Yeah, it's a tough one because it says he's still questionable. He's still questionable
he might
to play.
not play. It seems like when he's questionable, he doesn't play.
He's one of the biggest what ifs in college football. I want to say right now, he has such good talent, but he can't stay healthy. This guy, I want to see him transfer to like Tennessee. Can you imagine if Jalen Daniels went to Tennessee, where
I don't know if
Josh
their system
Heupel
is built for him.
Josh Heupel in Tennessee had Hendon Hooker and now Malik. What's the guy's name?
Joe Milton?
Shit. Oh, is it Joe Milton? Shit.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Joe Milton.
Yeah, but
those two quarterbacks
like pocket passers.
No, Hendon Hooker had some athleticism to him. Joe Milton is very athletic. Right. He just doesn't usually use it in the games. I would like to see Jalen Daniels transfer out for his senior year and really give himself an opportunity to win a national championship because I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like the fans of Kansas are getting a little frustrated with him. It's not his fault that he gets hurt quite a bit.
Yeah.
But for some reason, he's so injury prone. Kansas has a good team right now. If he was healthy, I think it would be a different outcome for them. It's a tough one. That's just what I wanted to say, though. I think Jalen Daniels should transfer out, go to Tennessee next year, and then really have a chance to make a national championship with that team that Tennessee has. But if we're talking about Week 9 in college football, Oklahoma Sooners look like shit against UCF. They're not going to look like shit again. Give me Oklahoma convincingly.
Easy. Another game we have here, Colorado, UCLA. Not, too top teams, so it's going to be a fun game regardless. It'll be definitely high scoring. Mm-hmm. Let's see what they have the total at. They have the total at 63.5. So that's pretty high.
Over.
I'm definitely taking the over in that one. This might get in the 70s, 80s.
Yeah, it might be.
Two teams that are strong offensively. And hear me out. Look at how many yards Colorado allows per game. I'm gonna give you a number. You guess the over under. All right. 500 over or under.
Oh, for total yards in a game.
Total yards allowed.
It's over.
So we're talking about their defense.
It's got to be over 500. It's got to be over 500.
So we're talking about the defense here. You taking it over?
Yeah, I'm gonna go over.
Yeah, you're wrong. It's under. They allow 473
Alright,
offensive yards
you.
per game.
Screw you.
They allow 473 offensive yards per game. That's insane. That defense is not there. Travis Hunter got abused against Stanford. Just stick him on offense. Make him play one position. Honestly. This is UCLA. Any favor? I got UCLA here. I think I'm gonna take UCLA. I'm off the hype train now. Buffalo is kind of lost steam. I think like they hit a tractor on the rails here. It all went so bad. The hype is all gone. Give me UCLA.
The Colorado Buffs officially allow the most yards a game so far in FBS. 126 teams. 126 teams. The only Power 5 team close to them is Stanford.
Yeah.
And they lost to them in what? Triple overtime? I don't remember what it was. My USF Bulls they allow 444. Go Bulls, baby.
Oof.
Yeah. I'm going to go Colorado here. Give me Colorado in the Rose Bowl.
Serious?
It's gonna be a what is it? Man, I'm really blanking on my words tonight, but this is gonna be a sign for things to come in Colorado, where they're going to have a victory in the Rose Bowl. It's just against UCLA and not on January 1st. But give Colorado, I don't know, 15 years, and maybe they'll be good enough to play in the Rose Bowl on January 1st,
15
New Year's
years.
Day.
Be a lot faster than that.
Give me the Colorado Buffs to win this game and shock a lot of people, because they really need some wins now. If they're going to be bowl eligible, they need some wins.
I mean, hey, they did it against TCU as 20-point underdogs, so why not do it as 17-point underdogs?
Yeah, and they almost beat USC as a pretty decent underdog.
Yeah, true.
It's a tough one. I want Colorado to be bowl eligible because I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see how their players would react to being in a low grade bowl game like the Las Vegas Bowl against fucking Wyoming. I want to see if their players play because they have a young team. Are they going to be motivated to play in a bowl game? That's what I want to see. I want to see them get to 6 wins and watch what happens in the bowl game if their players sit out because they're a bunch of cocky assholes over in Colorado. I predict if they make a bowl game, 75% of the team is going to sit because they're a bunch of pricks. Give me Colorado to win this game.
I predict carnage. Give me carnage.
Give me Colorado regardless.
All right. So those are all the games that I was interested in. Is there anyone you want to add or no?
No, that is it.
All right. So that concludes week 9 of college football pick'ems. Thank you guys for watching. Comment down below where you agree and disagree. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Help us out there. And also, we started Instagram, so make sure to follow down in the link below. I'll put that in the description. Follow the Instagram. We have a lot of content there. Dan is posting some fantasy football stuff on there, so that's nice. So, Rhett, anything you want to say? Say to the people?
Follow Reese Football 99 on Instagram. Dan is doing a phenomenal job at running it. This is not, and Matt said this is our page. This is his page. This is his YouTube channel. Give him the credit he deserves. He's doing a phenomenal job, and I love the guy. Good job, Matt.
I'm trying. All right. There we go. We ready? We're going to place our bets this weekend. We're going to cash out. I lost everything last week, and it was awful. But
you did.
New week. Let's go. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys, and catch you next time.